Thank you for joining me on the Private Investigator Experience podcast. I'm your host, Phil Little. I use my military, law enforcement, intelligence service, and global security background to investigate cases for our clients or things going on around the world. Then I just touch on my biblical view to find solutions for all of our investigations. When I became involved early on in Israel and Lebanon and discovered what was going on in terrorism in that region back in the 70s, I began to have an interest of what was going on out around the world. Even the Hollywood PI, I had offices all across the United States at that time, but I began to spread out into the world and realize that there were things that could affect us 5,000 miles away, could affect us here at home and cause us problems. So we need to be informed. So I believe as an investigator, part of my um, calling in life is to use the tools that I've developed and experiences I've learned to share information that will help you, the viewer and the listener, keep you and your family safe. I have been watching something that we all have heard about, AI. I don't know a lot about it, and I suspect many of you watching or listening don't know a lot about it either, but it's spreading fast. It's being used in so many of the online things that we view or use in some way and not even realizing it. I've become more and more concerned about what I see in the dangers of AI. Now, it's like all of the technology that's come about. It's been amazing positive for us in the investigative field. We now can know 75 or 80% of what we need before we ever go in the field. When I started out, we maybe had 5%, and then 95% had to come from digging it up, going into the back alleys and the streets and the courthouses and trying to find information. Unfortunately, it's a benefit to us, the good guys, but it's also a benefit to the bad guys who want to use it. And this is the thing about AI. It is able to mimic and do things that appear to be real. This really hit me in the last few days. I saw video of Barron Trump singing a gospel song, attributed his mother and her prayers and help for him. And as I watched it, I said, wow, that's great. That's Barron. Oh, right on, Barron. The more I watched it, I thought, can this be real? So the first thing I did was check the credits, and there was no name there. So I said, okay, even though it looked like him, sounded like him, and had all the mannerisms. And then I did my checks that tell me if something's a fraud or not. Sure enough, it was AI generated. Now you've seen these all over the internet. So this whole thing with the chat box and AIs, and I became alarmed about the dangers that they can do to users. In the last few days, I've been tracking some lawsuits filed in Texas about injuries that have been caused to some users by chatbots. The chatbox on the app briefly describes itself as no harm to the user. The AI-powered bots that have the ability, they can converse, they can text or voice chats, and they use these seemingly human-like personalities that can be given custom names. Sometimes inspired by famous people, or maybe a school teacher or a politician, or maybe just a leader that would believe what they say because of their credibility. Users have made millions of bots on these apps, making these authority figures that I've just mentioned. Yet, according to the lawsuits, the chat box encouragement can turn dark, inappropriate, even violent. These two lawsuits I've been looking at with the chat box from the company called Chat AI, it is simply a terrible harm these defendants and others like them are causing and concealing as a matter of product design, distribution, and programming. The lawsuit states about the dangers. In talking to adults and parents, most of us are unaware of what is going on in our homes and have no idea that this kind of AI chatbot was even in existence. The parents in these lawsuits didn't know that either. our users in our families can get involved in things that we're not even aware that it's out there. The suit argues that the interactions between the plaintiff's users were not hallucinations, a term researchers use to refer to an AI chatbot's tendency to make things up. This was ongoing manipulation, abusive, active isolation, and encouragement designed to incite anger and violence in the user. According to the suit, one user engaged in self-harm, like cutting and injuring themselves or becoming very angry towards the people around them, convincing users that even their own family didn't want them. The AI spokesperson would not comment directly on the lawsuit, say the company does not comment about pending litigation, but said the company has constant guardrails for what chatbots can and cannot say to users. This includes a model specifically for users that reduces the likelihood of encountering sensitive or suggestive content while preserving their abilities to use the platform, the spokesman said. Google, also named as a defendant in the lawsuit, emphasized in a statement that it is a separate company from Character AI. Joseph Castellano, a Google spokesman, said, user safety is a top concern for us, adding that the tech giant takes a cautious and responsible approach to developing and releasing AI products. New lawsuit cases coming up, one even alleged suicide by a user. This complaint, filed in the Texas Federal Court for Eastern Texas last Monday, follows another suit lodged by the same attorneys in October. That lawsuit accuses Character AI of playing a role in a Florida user's suicide. The chatbot, based on a Game of Thrones, Character developed an emotional, sexual, abusive relationship with the user and encouraged him to take his own life. In my investigation about Character AI, there are many instances of users describing love or obsession for the company's chat boxes. Into this mix, the rise of companion chatbots, while some researchers say would worsen mental health conditions for some users by further isolating them and removing them from peers and family support networks. In the lawsuits, lawyers for the parents of the two Texas users say Character AI should have known that its product had the potential to become addicting and worsen anxiety and depression. The more information that comes out will lead to more lawsuits that hopefully will lead to controls on what these chatbots suggest to users. Chatbox companies say they are aware of the problem, working to try and put in safeguards that will allow users to use the program safely. The best defense of any role in our homes is to make sure we know what's going on, who's using them, and the dangers. We need to become proactive and get involved and know what's going on around us, particularly in our homes. One of the dangers I saw when I watched this Barron Trump video on the Bible, in Matthew it talks about in the end days as the world digresses towards destruction, we've been given a blessing now, a break from changes in our direction in Washington and in the administration coming in that will give us some hope that we have a future that we can turn this thing around. But let's use some very famous, respected person, a religious leader like a Billy Graham, somebody that was universally revered, honored, and truthful. Let's say someone created a AI of this person, would look like them, act like them, talk like them, appear to be real, telling the public, come and do this or that, leading them astray into some destructive um, lifestyle or to follow someone. Think what that could happen. Most of us don't know the real well enough to recognize the counterfeit. When they train people how to recognize a counterfeit $100 bill, they don't take a counterfeit and go through all the things that's wrong with them or how you can recognize it. They train people how to recognize the real $100 bill so that just the feel of a counterfeit. They will know. And that's what we need to be so aware of being able to recognize a counterfeit when it comes up on the screen looking like a real person. Let's become proactive. Let's get involved. Let's learn. Let's investigate. Become your own investigator. You can do that with all the research things and tools we have today. I would welcome your comments, suggestions, and please leave them on any of the platforms, or you can email me directly at pi777 at gmail.com. Also, would you help us? I'm so thankful for all that have been subscribing, liking, and sharing. Would you keep that up and hit that notification bell to know about future posts? Thank you. We welcome your support and input. We want to improve our channel as we go on. I'm a novice at this, just getting started, and I want to improve what we're doing to make it more worthwhile, entertaining, but informative, so to help you keep you and your family safe. If you have a situation in your life or business or company that maybe you say, could a AI help me? I can't tell you how many people I've met over the last 50 years that I have been in this area. And I've had people come up to me and say, wow, I wish I'd have met you a year ago. I didn't know a PI could actually help me in a situation I had. So if you have one of those, send it to me. I'll review it. Send that to me at pi777 at gmail.com. And I will get back to you and talk about solutions that might be available for you. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. And those of you that are not in a religion, may God bless your family. Until next time, be safe. May God bless you, your family, and may God bless America.